Sorry, we all know me. We all know how much I struggle with this. So
Oh, we're
we
live.
will a bit. We. Well, good evening, everybody. J-Mac here with you. Mess around's there somewhere. He'll be back in the frame in a minute. And of course, we got Big B down there at the bottom. So Big B have been asked a question this week by a few people. Why do you go by Double Dirty?
Because it's dark dirty, and we get kind of dirty sometimes. So
We certainly do. We certainly do. Watching the show before this one, it was Kicking It. And they asked a question on there. I think they said it's a four bros question. I believe that's how Tim Hendricks put it. He said, we can't ask that this time of day. It has to be at four bros.
yeah, they're stealing our material before we could even steal it.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. We got plenty of other material to talk about.
But I tell you what, listening to that show beforehand, I don't think I'll ever use Uber and dining whatever apps ever again, or ever. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever use them if it's going to cost me, 3 times the amount to get a burger, fries, and pop. No way.
Why not just save yourselves money and get it your fucking self? Quit being lazy.
Yep.
I mean, I can't say I've never used it, but the one time I did, the one time I did use it was when I was working retail. I'm the only one with the keys, and I'm stuck in the building all day. So I mean, I got to get something,
Yeah, no, I get that part. I mean, if it's dire need, but man, the prices they were throwing out there for stuff, it was just like ridiculous.
And we got to look at where the source is coming from too.
Well, that is true.
I mean,
but the thing is, I mean, he paid $20-some for a pair of Brock Purdy socks, so
26.
Yeah, something like that.
Why I don't even have anything to say because $26 for a pair of socks, man. Things you would not catch me doing when I was dead. Even if I was dead, that's for sure.
Good evening, Thomas. How you doing tonight?
Yes, Thomas, how are you? Now, everyone talks about, this is kind of the way I want to start this. Everyone talks about the biggest scams in the world, okay? Biggest scam. You guys tell me what you think the biggest scam is. And then I'll tell you what mine is, because it's kind of a little bit of a pet peeve of mine, actually. So, tell me what you think it is.
For me, those scams that call up or you get an email, reply to this email because, you just won X amount of dollars overseas or somewhere, or call. And then, the first time, okay, maybe I'll call. And, well, you got to send us $500. You got to send us $500 first before we can send you X amount of millions. It's like, well, why don't you just take it out of what you owe me? They're like, oh no, we can't do that. Or the car insurance one, car warranty one has been a big one too. And I've even caught them, and they're like, well, you had this vehicle. I'm like, no, I don't have that vehicle. Well, yeah, you do. It's like, nope, no, I don't, and just hang up on them.
Yeah, your car's extended warranty. I hear you on that one.
Yep. Yep.
Mess around. What do you think?
Biggest scam? Getting out of bed and going to work every day.
How did I knew that was coming?
Well, Yeah. Um, that's definitely not fun. Want to talk to you about your car's extended warranty, yeah, Nigerian Prince. Let me tell you
Yeah.
what I think the biggest scam in the world is.
Biggest scam in the
Now,
world.
yeah, I'm gonna paint you a little picture.
How about crypto money and shit like that? I think that's
Yeah,
big.
that's a scam. It certainly is. But I'll tell you what mine is. Mine is the entire I don't even know what to call it, but everything that has to do with a funeral and a burial is a scam. Because when you go to pick out a casket for your dear old aunt that died, they tell you, she would have wanted the pearl one lined
Yeah.
with the satin in the window. What the fuck is she looking at?
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that. Go ahead, mess around.
You're not wrong. That is a pretty big. I mean, like, why do you need a big fancy box to be buried in? It's just gonna break down and deteriorate over time, and nobody's gonna see it ever again.
No one's gonna see it ever again, and I certainly ain't gonna give a shit. I don't care what you put me in.
Right? Just put me in get a freaking crate and stuff me in that and bury me in a crate. I don't care.
And that is what I was getting at. It's like, the price of everything. I mean, for a service to be held, and even if you're cremated, the urn, all that stuff. It's just like, really? I mean, I don't get it.
Thomas said, at work, I had a lady wanting to buy a certain amount on a Sephora gift card to send to a guy so he can fix his computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, those happen all the time. Isaiah says, sup, guys, sipping on a Fanta strawberry for Mickey D's. Oh, my God.
So you must have spent $20 on that because it was probably delivered.
Ubered that to your house.
When I die, just cremate me and put me in one of those spittoons. The silver spittoons.
Something, man. I'm just saying, just burn me.
When mess around goes, the porn world, I think, is going to fail. Going to go bankrupt, I think.
I know they're going to go bankrupt. That's for sure. What I always thought would be, what I always thought would be cool? I thought it'd be cool if you passed on and then you got cremated, and you know how they're not supposed to spread the ashes anywhere, like you have to get permission, and it's this big old legal thing.
Yeah.
But what if like you went skydiving, Big B, and you had my ashes in your backpack, and you jumped out of the plane, and then you're just like, oh, whoops, and they just kind of fell out of the plane.
Well, one more trip with Jay back, and I just let him go.
I mean, what are they really going to do about it? Be like, get back in the plane.
Right? You better track that and pick every piece up when we land.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I don't know. Definitely would be. It's definitely one of those things that drives me crazy. For sure. Taxes is another one. So
yeah, it's here.
I mean, they tax the money you make, then they tax the money that you spend, and then they tax the money that you use to put the gas in your car. So then they tax gas. So, I mean, they say that they can't double tax anything, but all they do is tax the same dollar like 14 times. So
I told you, get out of bed and go to work. It's a scam.
It is a scam. I've often said there's always safety in numbers, and there's always numbers can make a difference, right?
Yeah.
Like, what if one day everyone just was like, you know what, we're not going to the gas station today? Every person. You know how quick gas would be like 89 cents a gallon? Because they'd have to sell it before it went bad.
That would be the day. That'd be awesome.
That would be the day, but people won't do that. But that kind of stuff drives me crazy. Like, if you guys banded together, you know how many it would be? How many of them against us? Like, that's just crazy.
Yeah, but they've been saying that about sports too. Fans should stop going because then they'll kind of realize, what they're doing. I
I
mean,
think sports is different. I'm
oh no,
so
they've been saying the same thing. I mean,
here's
stop watching them, stop going, and the price will go down.
yeah, but it won't.
Oh,
But I will tell you what I do find interesting is that if you remember a few years ago when everyone talked about storming Area 51, do you remember that at all?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
a little bit.
At first, I was like, man, that's crazy. And then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, wait, they were like telling that they were telling secrets, like they have 30 guards on the entire perimeter of Area 51. Well, if 3,000 of us stormed Area 51, do you really think they could stop all of us? I mean,
That's true.
just saying, they couldn't stop all of us. I'm not saying we should go storm Area 51. I'm just making a point that.
But the thing is too is you're going to have someone that'll post it all over media, so then they'll know we're coming.
That's true. That's true. So this is kind of a weird topic, but it's one I want to throw out there because we're getting a lot more shows, a lot more movies about this. And then every time a new drug starts going around, they all start talking about this possibly happening. How do you guys feel about the zombie apocalypse? Do you think that's a real thing that's ever going to happen?
I don't know. My daughter was telling me about this thing she watched the other day about this scientist. It was like one thing away from making zombies become real. I don't know where she watched it on, but it was somewhere on YouTube or something. But the guy had he was one step away from making it become a reality.
I don't know if that could be possible. I don't know. I mean, because they Walt Disney Frozen, and they
Yes.
want to bring him back to life. So
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I can't see it happening. Leave it in the movies.
I mean, here's all I ever say about a zombie apocalypse. And Brandon, actually, all three of us are probably on the same page with this. I don't have to outrun everybody. I just have to outrun one person.
Yeah.
I tell you
That's
one
it.
thing, if the zombie apocalypse happened, I'd probably be the first one dead because I'd sleep through it and I'd get bit in my sleep.
That's funny.
True story. I'd probably sleep.
You're probably right. He'd wake up and go outside and be like, "Where the hell is everybody?"
Right? I'd probably be the last survivor because I'd be in the house where zombies can't get to me, and then everybody else would be dead, and I'd be like, "What the? Where is everybody?" Like you said.
And let's see, we got some comments here. So Thomas Burnett, it could happen overseas. I think it's gonna happen overseas first too.
Yeah.
Tim Hendricks says Ted Williams was frozen. Yes, he was, along with Walt Disney. Thomas Burnett, that's what I thought. I think he's talking about the sleeping with Messerum. I realized what I said after I said it. Anyway, Tim Hendricks says, remind me to never be in a group with you.
Yeah.
Because that's really, you just got to outrun one person. So for sure on that one. Guys, some exciting stuff coming up. I'm so ready for this crappy weather to be done, though. I'm so over it. So over it. What's the weather like over there, Big B?
It's 30. Currently in my car, it's 33 degrees out. We've had some rain, so of course that turned into ice, and of course, March is coming up, so we always get one nice snowfall in March, either during the hockey tournament or men's basketball tournament. So we got one more storm at least coming. So
yeah. It's been on the chilly side here, that's for sure.
It's
ready for it to be over.
44 degrees here on the coast.
44 degrees.
It's been raining. We had snow the other day, which is really unusual for over here. And we're not talking. It snowed like it never snowed here before. It was pretty deep for here anyway. I mean, 6 inches probably not a lot for a minute where you are, Brandon, but here it was pretty deep.
I mean, 6 inches is, that's better than average. I'm
Yeah.
just saying. They say average is like 5 inches, so 6 inches is actually on the bigger side, I think. No, that joke didn't play. That should have played, but it didn't.
I totally saw it.
And Thomas, I know Thomas is in Vegas, and he's kind of, say what Minnesota say. We'll be wishing for the cold weather, the crappy weather in June, July, and August when it's, 90 degrees and humidity is 100. But,
Now, I'll say this. I'll say that June, July, and August, and half of September, it's my favorite time to go camping, but I love going camping on the coast. So I hated living on the coast because it rained all the time, and I absolutely hated it. However, those are my favorite months to go camping on the coast. You know why? Because it's like 68 to 72 degrees every single day.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Perfect. It's like perfect weather every day. Where mess around and I can go camping and play cornhole and get drunk and it's
Punch your best
it's a good
friend.
time.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's for sure. Question came up on Kicking It, and Tim Hendricks is the one that said it's a Four Bros question, and it's interesting. It's an interesting question. How to pose the question is the hardest part. I believe the question was asked: were you breastfed as a child?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's two yeses and one no, and that is a Four Bros question because it, one of the funny parts of the show, Big B, if you didn't get to watch the show before, Kicking It, I asked Isaiah a direct question.
Okay.
And the question was, and you're gonna laugh at this because it was shared in our group chat.
Yeah.
I asked him,
I did see this part.
if your wife's mother-in-law was hot, would you hit on her?
Yeah. And we all misread it in the group.
And Isaiah's like, well, no, because that's like distrust at that point with your wife, and we're like, dude.
Well, and then he took a while to answer it,
Yeah.
where I know a couple of us, posted it really quick, and it was just like after I forgot who pointed it out. I had to go back and reread the question. I'm just like, oh, okay, I missed that word.
Yeah.
I said it wrong too because in the group chat I said it in a heartbeat.
Yes.
Right. That was funny. It took him a while. Welcome
Yeah,
to
it did.
the show. Yeah, it's always funny to ask those questions. Those trick, it makes you think questions, for sure. So we got a lot of stuff going on, guys. We got a lot of the NCAA tournament's going to be coming up soon. One of my favorite things all year is March Madness. Definitely like me some March Madness. It can't come soon enough. The Little League World Series, that's still a few months off, but I can't wait for that.
What's that?
Always
End of June? Early?
End of June.
Yeah.
That's my favorite time of year. I love watching the little kids play baseball. It's so great. But I got to get you guys' honest opinion on the pitch clock. I'm curious what you guys think.
There's a pitch clock now?
Yeah. So I went to a couple Saints games over the last couple of years when they implemented it. And I went the first game I went to, I actually specifically watched the pitcher and the clock and see when they turned it off and stuff. I don't think it made that big of a difference. I think a lot of relievers are kind of moaning about it because they got to pitch differently. The batters, we've seen already 2 incidences where it's cost a strike in a game. So it's going to be interesting to see how teams learn, I guess, over the course of the year. So I think this year is going to be pretty interesting to watch, especially early on these batters and pitchers and the violations and stuff.
To me, it's like you're gonna put a pitch clock on these pitchers. You should limit how many times a batter can step out of the box during the
That's the whole thing. It is limited. They got to be ready and set before 8 seconds into the clock. With 8 seconds left. Yeah.
Then it's fair then, because a lot of the times it's a batter that makes it go so long because they step out and they call time and whatnot. And pitcher's already halfway through his windup, they call time, the umpire grants it.
All right. Well, we got to get some caught up on some comments. We got a ton of comments tonight. We one of our better nights for comments.
Oh.
Okay, the Little World Series is in August. I wasn't sure July or August myself. Or as we call it, Isaiah running a station. Let's not get started on that, Tim Hendricks, but that is hilarious. Thomas Burnett says the pitch clock isn't going to make a difference one bit. I think it's going to a little bit. I don't think it's going to affect as many games as we think it's going to, but I do think it'll make a difference in the game.
I think the first week of spring training games, they've already said it's knocked off about a half hour from last year's first week per game.
Isaiah says, I picked up a baseball, fellas, and threw it and hit the target right down the middle, and it clocked in at 40 miles an hour. Okay, so 40 miles an hour, they're going to hit it 600 feet. Okay.
Yeah.
Little leaguers that throw harder than that, Isaiah.
Fast pitch softball players throw faster than that.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't even hit those girls. I would pay to see that. I would pay to see Isaiah stand in a batter's box and let a fast pitch softball player throw the pitch at him while he's standing at home plate.
That happened to me. I got struck out 6 times and won about it because of that.
Yeah. Thomas Burnett, I'm just happy the shift is gone. You're not the only one. However, the shift is sort of gone, but it's not really gone because I saw a thing of how now they can do the shift legally. They could still do it. So what they do is they pull their right fielder in like a rover between first and second.
Yep.
And then your other two fielders are back deep. Now, so you can still technically have that fifth infielder. He just can't be on the dirt. He has to be on the grass.
Yeah, so, and I believe they have to have two fielders on each side of second base. So you can have that, you can have that shortstop right at second base, and you can have your second baseman over. And then, so the shift is still there. Batters just have to learn how to hit against it. That's all.
If you're left-handed, you just bunt it right down the third baseline. They'll stop doing the shift on you. I guarantee you.
Yep.
Let's see, Isaiah. I got an arm, gents. Might as well. Oh God, I'm not even gonna finish that comment because it's gonna be something about going to play in spring training or something. You can always bring your outfielder in. You're right, you can, Thomas, and I think that. But Big B's onto something. Just learn how to hit around it. Retrain yourself how to hit. Hit around it and they'll stop doing it. Learn to pull hit. I agree. Pull it right down the line. Like they're never going to have anyone on the line. So or
lay down that bunt between the cones as you learned in Little League.
Yeah. Could the shortstop or third baseman just run at the crack of the bat to the left side of the infield? Oh my God.
Possibly.
I mean they could, but you know how quick you'd have to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to be quick. I mean, I guess they could, but you start bunting down the third baseline, they'll stop.
They're going to stop.
You.
Yep.
That's just honestly the best way to get rid of that. Or when the pitcher starts pitching it.
Oh.
But anyway, baseball. So spring training started. There's been a few games. Have you guys watched any of it yet? Gotten to see a couple innings maybe?
I watched the White Sox game today. They beat the Mariners 10-1.
Yeah.
The first couple of weeks of spring training, I don't really watch too much because, everybody gets at least one at bat or two at bats. Pitchers go one inning. So I'll start watching probably the end of next week. I'll probably catch a little bit more of the highlights and stuff. But I've seen the box scores. some of the guys are, looking ready, mid-season form, as they will say, but, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. You get a lot of the AAA guys that are getting a chance to play in spring training, and you get all of those. Okay, let's catch up on the rest of these. Let's see. There was a cone in Little League. Tim Hendricks wants to know, Brandon.
Well, in practice, they always put the cone, at least my teams did, put two cones down, one on the foul line and one, probably like 2 feet away from it, and you're supposed to button in between them, is what I meant.
Gotcha. The third baseman couldn't get to the other side of second unless he's playing on the grass. I agree with that.
Yeah.
It'd be really hard to run in the infield that far. The Mariners, otherwise known as Isaiah's 18th favorite team.
Yep.
Yep. That stupid World Baseball Classic starts next week. Tim Hendricks, I'm going to get to practice here in a minute. I'm really good at doing that bit. So I don't think the World Baseball Classic itself is stupid. I think the timing of it is stupid. I don't think you should do it right before the regular season starts. I don't think you should do. So I think the timing of it is really, really horrible. But
I agree with that.
What it is itself, and the fun and the kind of a friendly competition between all the different countries. I'm okay with that, but I think the timing of it is horrible.
Now,
and that's what Thomas is saying. Is saying he hates the timing also.
Now, they do it every other year opposite of the Olympics, or do they do it every year? I can't remember.
Every other year opposite of the Olympics. You had it right.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
And Tim Hendricks says practice. We're talking about practice, not a game. Not a game. Not the game that I love, that I put my heart and soul into. You watch me every night. Not a game. We're talking about practice, man.
Practice?
We're talking about practice. Not a game.
He dropped practice
No, I did. Okay.
17 times in that clip?
And I know, that I should be there. I know that. And I'm not shoving it aside, but man, I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we in here talking about practice. Man,
Isaiah just jinxed the team. Isaiah just jinxed the World Series.
Do it between December and January. I would agree with that, Tim. I think that would be a good time to do that. I think the Texas Rangers ain't winning the World Series.
Yep.
So that's out. Thanks a lot, Isaiah. I'm sure Chris will be very, very happy about that. December is perfect right after Thanksgiving. I think that's great. Now, a lot of people are going to tell you, well, that's NFL time. That's when the NFL is on. The World Baseball Classic, it would probably bring in some ratings also. So Nathaniel says, I'm not sure what he is talking about.
But the thing is okay, yeah, December, January is football time, but playoffs are there. So you play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Leave the weekend for football then.
Yeah. Bacon is going to be murderous now. I can never see Chris getting mad enough to be murderous.
No.
I don't think I've ever even seen Chris mad. Like, as long as I know him, he doesn't even.
We're going to have to ask him next time we have him on.
Yeah. Like, he doesn't even get irritated. I've never even seen him be slightly irritated with somebody. You don't piss off the working man. I agree. You don't piss off the working man. And those are the ones usually that are like the scariest, because they don't ever get mad, and then all of a sudden they get mad, and you're like, "Yes, sir, I'm sorry."
It's like it's quiet ones you got to watch out for.
The World Cup was just played during the football season, and it didn't hurt the NFL. Agreed. Thomas. Agreed. Thoughts on Jake Paul losing to finally a boxer? I don't care. That's my thoughts. I don't care.
And you know what? He made up every excuse in the book after he lost. It's the way he lost.
Dude, you lost. That's the long and the short of it. You lost.
Well, but the thing is, from what I read, it was a split decision, so it could have went either way. It's not like he got KO'd, TKO'd, or got dominated. He lost in a split decision. I didn't see the fight. You know, I'm with J-Mac. I care less, but he lost in a split decision.
Library. Okay, hold on. Let me catch up here. Isaiah jinxing the whole thing. Not that the Rangers will make the playoffs at all, but still. I mean, at least Nate is an honest fan, I guess.
Yep.
Librarians are scary in bed for that reason. God damn, Tim.
And if I can't remember it, I wonder if he knows from experience.
We're probably going to find out here in a minute. Let's see. They're going to do a rematch in a few months. That doesn't surprise me at all. Also, I bet $50 in the. Oh God.
Well, there goes Seattle.
There goes $50 and Seattle. True that in Librarians. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna stop right there. Isaiah, if you're telling me that you know what a librarian is like in bed.
Wait, is your mom a librarian?
He ordered one on Uber Eats.
Yeah, that's funny. We can go off on that a little bit. Tim Hendricks says nope, he doesn't know from experience. You know something else that really and she breastfeeds. Oh my God. Oh man, what a night. This is great. You know something else that really irks me, guys, now that we're on the whole bed and women subject?
Oh God.
Why don't they just tell us what the hell it is that they want? Why do they have to do the you should already know? I shouldn't have to tell you.
Because you should know.
I mean, think about it. There's a 90s song that she talks about, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. And all she says is, I really, really want a zig-a-zig-zag. Like, what the hell does that even mean?
You go all the way back to Spice Girls, huh?
I know. But think about it. There's a song about saying what you want, but you still don't say what you want.
They want zigzags.
Apparently.
Pornhub. Yes, Tim. Pornhub.
What really irks me is how the heck can you not buy a drink and satisfy your thirst for... Oh, my... Never mind, Isaiah. Rolling papers.
I actually, so actually, I do. Speaking of Isaiah's kind of comment there about buying drinks cheap, I went to our Coke or our pop machine a couple weeks ago and found out that it went from $1 to $1.50 to buy a pop. Which, again, at the moment, I was pissed. I was like, "Are you serious? 50 cents?" But again, if I went to the gas station, it would have been $3. So.
I mean, that's true. That is true. But still, what do we? I don't know. I don't even know what to say. You kind of like got me all discombobulated here.
I want to go back to the librarian thing. How do you know about the librarians?
I know. I'm curious. Who needs Pornhub when I got the airport chicks?
Now your mom's an airport chick?
Wow. I still got to go back to Tim's rolling papers talking about zigzags. Yeah. A Colt 45 and 2 zigzags, baby, that's all you need. Yeah. We all remember that.
Yep. Afro-Man.
So, Isaiah, it is illegal to take pictures of people without their permission. Airport chicks, check your package. Wow, this is
dark 30. We haven't had a dark 30 show in a while.
We have not.
Where can I find an airport chick like that? I need my package checked.
No doubt.
Well, ask Isaiah.
Yeah. You know what else is aggravating? Do you guys have you guys ever went and got a massage?
No.
I don't see the point. Like,
Did
I'm
you get
asked
the
all the
happy
time if
ending?
I want to go get one, and I'm like, what's the point? You're gonna get this chick to come and rub all over my body except the one spot that I want rubbed on.
Right?
Like, what is the point?
You gotta ask for the happy ending. You ask just
Yeah.
normal. Watson will tell you where to get one.
And it's not like they don't know because you're sitting there like, huh? Ta-da! Like,
Right? You roll over and you're like, hey, look at this thing. You want to
you
touch
know
it?
what grinds? You know what grinds my gears? My bad clutch. I like that one, Tim. Yes. My bad clutch does grind gears. So Isaiah, I know you're still watching. So a clutch is something that you use in a manual to shift gears in a car. Just so that you know what that is, because you probably don't know what one is. Is my
He
guess.
probably doesn't know what a Nintendo Switch is, what they were talking about earlier on the early show.
Yeah.
So if you're talking to the guy who doesn't know who Bowser is, come on.
Right. Or a woman's purse.
Yeah, my wife just bought like another one. It seems like she buys a purse almost every other week. I'm just like, come on, how many purses do you need?
Don't ask that question.
I know, I don't. I just she showed me. She's like, you like my purse? I'm like, yep. Mm-hmm.
Do you know why I stopped asking that question? Because I am sort of an addict when it comes to sports equipment. When it's cheap, I'm going to buy it. Like, I just bought a new golf bag the other day with no golf clubs in it because it was on sale. And I just bought it. And so my answer always is one more. Like, how many of those do you need? I need one more. And so I stopped asking the question because that's the same answer I was getting. One more. And I'm like, okay.
I actually did that. We were out shopping, and of course, I collect Kirby Puckett stuff, and they had mini bats. And they had a Kirby Puckett mini bat. And I got like 3 already. And my wife's like, well, why do you need that one? I was like, because I need it. She goes, but you already have them. I was like, yeah, but I don't have this one, which was what I already had. So I ended up getting it anyways. But
Thomas, I was hoping someone wasn't going to go there. Isaiah says he has his own private jet. We all know that is not a true statement. Because
unless it's a model one that's like you bought from Target.
That's true. And then Tim Hendricks says 237. Do I buy a lot of cups? No, I don't buy athletic supporters. That's not something I buy. How did you get your own private jet? Well, here we go. So the next response that's going to come through is going to be like 3 paragraphs long. That's going to explain some answer from Isaiah.
You bought it from Uber Eats. It was on sale.
He gets free trips anywhere from his airline he works at. So
yeah, he works on the airline.
That's not a private jet.
No, it did not.
It doesn't have your name on the deed. Like, that's not a private jet. You don't.
You know the thing is Isaiah probably sits in the luggage department thinking it's private because it is.
Oh my god, that's actually mini drone. You know, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Or is he going to say Alaskan Airlines? No, I agree with Big B. That's actually really funny. They probably tell him he can go wherever he wants if he rides with the luggage. I mean, that would be awesome.
It'd be private.
Oh, man,
the thing is they probably tell him you get free trips. You got to live in you got to go to travel to the luggage rack. But you have to bring your own meal, so he called Uber Eats to bring him his meal. That's going to cost him $30 for a cheeseburger, fries, and a drink, and then he travels.
Probably. It's actually a mini drone, Tim says.
Yeah.
Yeah,
probably. He rides
probably.
his cargo bay with the pets.
Yeah. 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 What else, guys? Let's just keep this going. I mean, this is great. Stows away in the bathroom. There's not much room in those. That's for sure. There's not much room in a commercial airline.
I really want to know, now that we got on the subject of flying, Does Isaiah know what the Mile High Club is?
Well, I guess we'll wait and find out in a minute. Isaiah, do you know what the Mile High Club is?
I can't wait to hear his answer.
It's gonna be something ridiculous, like off the wall ridiculous.
Oh man, it's gonna cost him $30 for a bagel. It probably does, Nate. I'm sure it does cost him $30 for a bagel.
No, and I kind of wish Randy Cox was here for that one to find out what his thoughts on the Mile High Club is.
So let me just explain something to you about Randy Cox, or Dragon Viper as we call him.
Yeah.
He's been there and done that. He's done everything in the world, and he's done it better than you have.
Well,
Randy's the biggest bullshitter in my life that I've ever met. You're talking about the same guy who has said countless number of times in his life that he has never one time self-gratified himself in his entire life. Never once.
He's lying. Anybody says that is a fucking liar.
Because do you know what my dad's talk with me was about that? My dad's talk was simply this: Party Club in Denver.
Oh my God. Isaiah, you never disappoint.
No, he does not.
Disappoint.
No, he does not. That's awesome.
So my dad's talk with me about that was, there's a time and a place. Okay.
Yep.
9 out of 10 guys do it, and the 10th guy, he lies about doing it.
So Randy's the 10th guy.
Yeah. But you know what I'll use Tim's words here. You know what really grinds my gears about that when they give you that talk, they make it seem like at some point in your life you're going to stop.
No.
They don't tell you that in your 30s and 40s you're still going to be doing it.
Right?
Nope.
They make it like it's a temporary thing in your life, and it's
Oh,
really
you're
not.
not. That's what Pornhub's for, by the way.
A full nude strip club with a buffet. Oh man.
Why do you think I watch so much Pornhub? Jesus.
At the buffet.
Yeah, but but the problem that I have with Pornhub is that it really it gives you a bad idea of how long it's going to take a plumber to show up to your house.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you call a plumber and they're there. No, that's not real life though.
No, it's not. Or the worst part is when you're doing it and then you get a phone call and you're right in the middle and you're about to go and you see somebody else's face like your mom and you're like, oh God.
Oh man.
Why are you calling me now?
Jesus Christ.
Just saying, terrible. Bad timing.
Right. For the buffet, it gave me great ideas. We could run with some of those ideas, Tim. That's for sure. A party club in Denver. I'm never gonna get over that one.
That's a Mile High Club.
That definitely, and the sad thing is, it would not shock me if when we get off here, we type in Party Club in Denver, Colorado, and there's a club called Mile High Club. It would not surprise me. But that's not what we're looking for.
No. Best comment of the day. Yeah, it's up there. That's for sure. Definitely a good one.
Yeah.
Man, you know it's funny. We got all these things at work that we're members and clubs of, and they're having a like a, I guess you'd call it like a talent contest, so like a talent show. And someone at the office asked me if I was going to join it, and I'm like, well, what the hell am I going to do at a talent contest? Like they don't have. What am I going to do? Like, I got to turn it down. I can't hear you over my beard. I'm not sure that that's a talent. And they're like, well, you could just do stand-up comedy because, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm not good at doing it on my own. Now you put me on the show with all the other knuckleheads that I'm on a show with, and we could be the stand-up kings all night long.
Right.
In fact, if we ever did a stand-up show and all of us were on, I mean, it'd be over. We would have the audience rolling so hard. We really would. And if we brought Dragon Viper along and just roasted him all night.
Oh God.
Isaiah, does it make the tickets to the sporting events cheaper?
I guess you missed something there.
Maybe he's talking about the party club in Denver. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, they call those interviews from Tim Hendricks. Tim Hendricks is in Italy, by the way.
Yep.
He is watching us from Italy. So,
And you'll catch him in the morning on C2C Ringham with myself.
yeah, what are you guys talking about tomorrow?
Tomorrow we are going to break down some NCAA basketball moments for March Madness coming up. So, best coaches, women and female, best moments, best teams, So we definitely got that.
We're at 4 p.m. today, as Tim says.
Yeah, because he's halfway around the world. So it's I think I think it's like mid-morning for him already. So
March Madness is coming. Yes, Christy.
hey, Christy's here.
Christy's
You
here.
missed it all the fun, Christy. You have to rewatch it.
Isaiah says this talent show I want in. I can go and cook or play the saxophone. Calm down, Bill Clinton.
Well, I just looked up nightclubs in Denver. I didn't see anything, but I found one called Mile High Spirits.
Mile High Spirits. Wow. What a night. It's been fun. This has been a fun show.
So it's fun.
We're gonna get Tim Hendricks on this show someday because you imagine all of us with him. I mean,
Tim Hendricks is a blast. There is one moment. I'll wait until we get Tim Hendricks on there, but I'll never forget hanging out with them and being at a McDonald's. I'll never forget. There's actually two moments that come to mind now that I said it.
Great
Well,
times.
get Tim on here so you guys can talk about these moments.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, there's just those great times that you remember in your life, right? Nate, no, please don't. He does not play the saxophone. I promise
he
you.
does. He probably doesn't even know what a saxophone is. He just probably Googled something. Yeah.
Tim,
Oh,
there was
yeah,
two.
Tim. There was two. Yes. 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 Yeah, at a McDonald's. Yeah.
I can't wait to hear those stories. That's
Yeah, no
That three. I know. We talked about one. I think on one of our shows we did movies, and we're sitting in Iron Mountain, Michigan, is where me and Tim met, and they just opened up a movie theater, and they were playing some old classics, and one of them was Lion King, and Tim would do the part of the hyenas very well. So when they're like Mufasa, and Tim would laugh like a hyena. So he did that in the movie theater. And the rest of us are like, Tim, shut up. He's like, what am I going to do? Get kicked out of a movie? So we're all like, well, duh. It was a free movie. So we're like, okay. So there was like 6 of us, I think. We recited the whole Lion King movie as it was playing. And the crowd was, and the people watching were just laughing at us.
Yeah. Let's see. I did that intentionally. Escanaba.
Yeah. So it was. Tim, remind me. I think it was like an hour drive north of where we lived at, and that was like the party town. So there was like a little drink strip that everybody would start at McDonald's, go down around the lake and back a couple times, and then they would stop at McDonald's, get out, hang out with people. Then we all do it again, But yeah, there's a couple moments in McDonald's that we even had a security guard choking that one of them was said. So yeah. Yeah, we all sing every song. Yes, yes.
Sang every song. I did that intentionally. Nate says. Isaiah says McDonald's. I'm listening. Damn, man.
You and McDonald's, you got a problem.
Right? You know that gets expensive after a while. Anyway,
Especially if you
it was a
order from Uber Eats.
right? It was a free movie, and we sang every song. Yeah.
Yep.
Been there. Sang every song of a movie. Yeah. I get hit though when I do that sometimes. Like if we're sitting in the living room and a movie comes on. You know my favorite movie to do it to is Major League. I'm like, hey, do you want to watch this? And she's like,
Oh, yeah.
because you're gonna recite
Every single line.
and you're gonna know. And I'm like, no, I promise I won't this time. I just want to watch it. And then it comes on, and especially when Bob Uecker is talking, just
Oh yeah. Just a bit outside. Ball 4.
I don't know how ball 8, ball
Yeah.
12. Man, I don't know how these guys can lay off pitches that close.
Now, and actually, one of the best lines is when they're sitting in the coach and the pitching coach are sitting in the dugout, and Rick Bond gives up that grand slam. And he's like, "Should I take him out? No, let's see how he reacts." And the next pitch, he just nails the guy, and they start going off, and the coach is like, "I think he go get him now."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Those are great movies too. They're so quotable. It's so great.
I can do that.
The third one, Major League Back to the Minors.
Great movie.
I like the scene. My favorite scene in that is when he goes out and he's talking to the other manager, Huff, right?
Yep.
And he's like, "Hey, the guys wanted me to tell you, you can't
at
even
the
tell
end
that
there,
you're
yes.
wearing a hairpiece."
Yeah.
Yep.
He's like ripping his hair up. He's like, "It's mine, and it's all sticking up."
Yeah. Now the other best part of that one too is when he's sitting in the dugout, and the catcher Baker comes up to him, and he's like, "Baker, do you have any other crafts?" He's like, "No." "What do you mean?" "Well, if I actually build a table, could you build a table?" He's like, "No, but my brother could." "Why?" "Because if I see you airmail another one from second base, you're gonna be having to find yourself a new craft." And then Doc's like, "I thought you're going to give him the easy talk." That was.
That was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Isaiah says, "Damn, I didn't realize Bob Uecker, the legendary host of The Price is Right, was on Major League."
Can you get Bob Uecker and Bob Barker your biz?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
See, this is why certain people need to use what they call Google.
Oh man.
Oh.
Tim is so frustrated. He doesn't even have anything funny to say. He just says, "Bob Uecker didn't do The Price is Right. That's Bob Barker."
Yeah.
Yeah. Price is wrong, Bob.
Yeah. You know that Bob Uecker in that movie, by the way, they've asked the director why they decided on Bob Uecker. They said, actually, we didn't. He decided on us. Like he showed up to this we were looking to use an actor for it, and well, never mind the wife's mother-in-law comment.
Oh
Man.
the funny thing is we could probably do a show if we go back and look at all our shows that we've had Isaiah on, and even other networks. They could probably lend us some clips too. We could probably do a whole show on Isaiah clips.
Oh, for sure.
Yes, and Tim, you're correct. I was getting there. He lived in Milwaukee where they filmed Major League. Yeah.
Yep.
He was local, but he's such a funny guy. I mean, he's so funny in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Well, a lot of those lines he had were ad lib too, right?
I know.
Yep.
Like some of my favorites are just ones that always the ones they cuss in are usually funny, but even just the ones when he's like, "Look at Serrano out there in right field doing some limbering up exercises. What a fucking pansy!" Just like,
Yeah.
it's like, dude, it's so funny.
Or what about the fight scene in the second one where the Indians are fighting themselves, and and they're waking him up because he's passed out. He's like, "Oh, it looks like Rick Vaughn is finally, or Will Mays is finally getting a hit on Vaughn. That's the first time anybody's got a hit on Vaughn in a while, or something like that."
Yeah. Listening to him do Brewers radio is awesome. I bet it is.
Oh yeah.
Cole
yeah.
Lee Turner. I don't know who Cole Lee Turner is. Yeah, I'm not sure.
We should ask Isaiah who Coley Turner is.
Yeah, who's Cole Lee Turner? We'll who knows what he's gonna say. Dynamite drop in money.
Yeah.
They don't call him the best color man in the league for nothing.
No.
I could see that. You know, I always say Chris is that. Could you see that? Like, we're doing play-by-play for a baseball team, and someone cuts out for a minute, and Chris would be standing there, and he'd be like, fly ball.
Out.
Caught. Just
fly ball cut.
caught. Yeah. That would be great. Trey Turner's brother is Cole Lee Turner.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, man.
Really?
I don't even know. Let's get final thoughts. Mess around.
Hey, thanks everybody for commenting and making this show great. Your comments made this one of the better shows we've had in a while. Isaiah, keep saying stupid shit. We love it. It's always entertaining and funny. Who gets your mom tonight? Your dad or you?
Oh.
All right, Big B.
All right, like I said, tune in the morning in about 8 hours from now. Myself and Tim Hendricks will be on there for C2C Rankum. But outside of that, keep joining us. We got great shows. Also, Tuesday we'll do – no, I'm sorry, Wednesday that is. In the Cougars Den. Keep watching that. And tomorrow, Between the Ropes with me, Mess Around in the group. So we'll definitely keep watching.
All right, great show, fellas. P.S. If I owned my own airline, I'm naming it Ice Cream Airlines, and we serve everybody a free ice cream. Yeah, you'll never with that rate, you'll never own your own airline.
And he flies to Strawberry Shortcake Land all the time.
Something like that. Anyway, thanks for watching and listening, joining in the show. The comments are great. Couldn't do the show without you. We enjoy it. We enjoy doing it as much as you enjoy watching. I would not, couldn't do it with a better group of guys. You guys make this all worth it. Keep watching us. Some lots of great stuff coming. Lifelong dreams being lived in front of your very eyes. And guess what? Yeah, we'll see you all on the other side.
Bye, Felicia.